At the beginning of the story, we're introduced to Miss Sasha and her husband, Tommy, a couple struggling with drug addiction. At the same time, they're passionate climbers who love taking on massive mountains, and today they've come to conquer Norway's Troll Wall. They've attempted this climb before, but the mountain has never made things easy for them. This is a nearly vertical rock face, and reaching the top is far more difficult than it looks. Determined as ever, Sasha insists they make another attempt. She manages to reach the exact point where she's always been forced to stop in the past. She tries again and again, but even today she can't get past it. The higher they climb, the more the mountain seems determined to push them back. Tommy finally tells her they've done enough for the day and should rest before trying again in the morning. But Sasha wants to make it to the top today. She keeps pushing herself until she's completely exhausted. That's when they learn a storm is moving in. They set up their hanging tent and settle inside for the night. Tommy is especially uneasy because the compass he considers his lucky charm suddenly isn't working properly. For the first time, the climb feels less like a challenge and more like a warning. The storm grows even stronger. Tommy tells Sasha they should head back down and try again once the weather clears. The two begin their descent, but navigating the mountain in the darkness is incredibly difficult. Then, an avalanche hits. The mountain suddenly turns violent, sending danger crashing down from above. Snow and rocks start tumbling from the cliffs overhead. Trying to protect Sasha, Tommy moves her beneath a section of rock where she's shielded from the falling debris. But a rock strikes Tommy in the head. He loses his footing and falls. Everything happens in seconds, and there's no time to stop what's already begun. His rope catches him, leaving him suspended in the air, but the impact is fatal. Tommy is already dead. The other end of the rope is attached to Sasha, and the massive weight begins pulling the anchor loose from the rock, little by little. Sasha realizes she has no other option. The choice in front of her is impossible, but survival leaves her with only one path. She lets go of the rope, and Tommy falls into the darkness below. Sasha somehow manages to cling to the rock face and survive. After this, the story jumps ahead 5 months. Sasha has returned home, but she's still haunted by the guilt of Tommy's death during the climb. Time has passed, yet the memory remains as sharp as the day it happened. She hasn't been able to move on. Tommy's lucky compass is still with her. Eventually, Sasha decides to travel to Wundra National Park in Australia. When she arrives, a park ranger warns her that many people have disappeared there over the years. She notices photographs of missing visitors displayed throughout the station. These are people who entered the park and never came back. Every photo seems to carry the same unanswered question. Despite the warnings, Sasha is determined to go inside. The ranger takes down her name and address before letting her continue. Later, she stops at a gas station store where 2 hunters begin bothering her. That's when a young man named Ben shows up. He's selling dried meat and tells the hunters to leave her alone. They back off and walk away. Sasha thanks Ben and buys a package of his dried meat before continuing on her way. What seems like a small encounter may end up meaning far more than she realizes. After that, Sasha gets back into her vehicle, but she notices that her GPS isn't working. She also can't make sense of the map she's looking at. That's when Ben shows up. Sasha points to a location on the map called Grand El Narros, deep inside a dense forest, and tells him that's where she wants to go. The destination is remote, hidden deep within territory few people seem eager to visit. Ben explains that there are 2 ways to get there. One route is easy, while the other is much more difficult. He tells her that if she takes the harder route, she'll get to see some incredible scenery along the way. Sasha decides she's going to reach Grand El Narros using the difficult route. The route begins from a bay, and eventually she arrives there. By now, night has fallen, so she sets up camp nearby. But before long, the same hunters from the store show up there as well. Sasha knows they'll probably try bothering her again. The moment she sees them, the quiet of the bay no longer feels completely safe. To be prepared, she gets inside her vehicle and locks the doors. She also takes out her pepper spray in case they come near her. Surprisingly, they never approach her at all. After hanging around for a while, the hunters eventually leave. Sasha spends the night sleeping inside her vehicle. For now, the tension fades, but the feeling of being watched never fully disappears. The next morning, Sasha launches her boat into the water because that's how this journey is supposed to begin. The scenery around her is breathtaking. After traveling across the water for quite a while, she finally reaches the shoreline. There, she discovers belongings that once belonged to the people who had disappeared. Everything has been arranged carefully, making the scene feel even more unsettling. The items are organized neatly, but Sasha is exhausted from the trip. She decides to stop and rest for a while. Her clothes are soaked from traveling on the water, so she lays them out to dry. She also eats some of the dried meat she bought from Ben to satisfy her hunger. Afterward, she climbs into her tent and falls asleep. The following morning, she wakes up because of movement and noise outside. When she steps out of the tent, she realizes her backpack is gone. Someone, or something, has taken it during the night without her noticing. At the same time, she finds a snake inside the tent. Luckily, she had gotten out before it could become a problem. After dealing with the situation, Sasha once again continues her journey by boat across the water. The deeper she travels, the stranger and more unsettling everything becomes. After traveling a little farther, Sasha spots another boat along the shore. When she heads over to investigate, she discovers that it's Ben's campsite. Seeing him there makes her genuinely happy. She tells Ben that someone took her belongings from the place where she slept the previous night. What happened doesn't make sense, but Ben seems unusually calm about it. Ben suggests that an animal was probably responsible. After that, he cooks fish for her and shares a meal with her. He also tells her that he's not originally from Australia. He explains that his mother brought him there when he was a child, and he's lived there ever since. Then he asks Sasha what she's doing there because, according to him, she's someone who prefers mountains. The comment catches her off guard, but she never asks how he knows that. The truth is, Ben has been saying a lot of strange things. The more he talks, the harder it becomes to ignore how much he already knows. Sasha mentions that the hunters showed up near her camp again. Ben replies that she handled them perfectly and that they never even got close to her. Hearing that leaves Sasha stunned. Then Ben finally reveals the truth. He admits that he intentionally gave her that route and that he's been tracking her from the very beginning. In an instant, every strange coincidence starts feeling far more deliberate than before. In other words, Ben admits that he's been following her the entire time. Sasha immediately realizes that Ben is the one who stole her backpack, but before she can ask him about it, Ben brings the backpack over and sets it right in front of her. Sasha notices that Ben is wearing her bracelet. At that moment, any remaining doubt disappears completely. She knows she needs to get away from him as fast as possible. Then, Ben places a crossbow and a speaker in front of her and calmly explains that he's a hunter. He says he hunts people. He gives Sasha a chance to save herself. He tells her he's going to play a song, and she can run for as long as the music lasts. Once the song stops, he'll begin hunting her with his crossbow. He also reveals that he has taken her phone. At the same time, her backpack contains everything she needs to survive. The rules sound simple, but the reality behind them is terrifying. Ben starts the music. Sasha grabs her backpack and escapes by boat through the water. She's completely terrified because she now knows Ben is a psychopath. She's so panicked that she loses control and goes over a waterfall, losing her boat in the process. After climbing out of the water, she begins running through the forest. Now she's alone, injured, and trapped inside Ben's deadly game. Just when things seem hopeless, Sasha hears what sounds like a family nearby. For a moment, it feels like help has finally arrived, but when she climbs up to investigate, she discovers that Ben has left a phone there playing a recording. The recording contains the voices of a family enjoying themselves in the area. What first sounds like rescue quickly turns into something far more disturbing. The recording reveals that Ben befriended that family before murdering them one by one. The entire thing was a trap designed specifically for Sasha. Suddenly, Ben fires a bolt from his crossbow. Fortunately, Sasha manages to avoid it and starts running again, but Ben keeps firing. One of the bolts strikes her leg, leaving it badly injured. Because of the injury, she falls into a river. The impact also leaves her with a head injury. Every step forward now comes with pain, exhaustion, and fear. Despite everything, Sasha manages to pull herself to the riverbank. The first thing she does is change her shirt because her clothes are soaked. She's exhausted and starving, so she eats something to regain her energy. She knows Ben will be there soon. That's why she starts running again. Ben continues chasing her relentlessly. After all, he knows every inch of that wilderness. The deeper she goes, the more the landscape seems to belong to him. Meanwhile, Sasha keeps running until she reaches a place where the path suddenly ends. The only way forward is a narrow passage between large rock formations. She squeezes through and climbs to the top of the rocks. From there, she uses binoculars to look toward Ben's campsite. For the first time in a while, she finally gets a chance to see where her hunter is. She notices that her boat is still there. At the same time, she realizes that Ben has already gotten dangerously close. Ben spots her as well. To avoid being seen, Sasha quickly climbs back down the rock face and hides beneath a large rock formation. Ben reaches the top and looks down through the crack in the rocks, but he doesn't see her. Eventually, he leaves the area. One small mistake would have ended everything right there. After he's gone, Sasha climbs back up and makes her way to Ben's campsite. There, she sees him casually swimming in the river, as if he's completely certain that he'll eventually make her his next victim. There's only one reason Sasha returned to this place. She wants her boat back. Somehow, she manages to move through the water and reach it. It's a desperate risk, but she has no other way out. But this turns out to be another one of Ben's traps. He has placed a snare beneath the boat, and Sasha's foot gets caught in it. Ben immediately approaches her. Fortunately, she still has her pepper spray inside her backpack, and she sprays it directly into his face. His eyes begin burning instantly. For the first time, Ben is the one forced onto the defensive. Sasha notices his crossbow crossbow nearby and moves toward it. But before she can reach it, Ben has already washed his face. He pulls on a chain, stopping her, and retrieves the crossbow himself. Then, Ben tells Sasha to throw away the pepper spray. She has no choice but to obey. After that, he frees her foot from the trap. The advantage slips away almost as quickly as she gains it. Ben reminds her that he gave her a choice between the easy route and the difficult route. According to him, if she had chosen the easy route, she would have reached her destination long ago. But she chose the difficult route, and that's why she's trapped there now. He goes on to explain that he follows the traditions of local cannibal tribes. Their belief is that every person they kill continues living inside them forever. Ben then tells Sasha that he's going to kill her too, and afterward, she'll continue living inside him. That night, Sasha remains outside in the pouring rain. As darkness settles in, Ben's twisted beliefs become even more frightening than the hunt itself. The next day, Ben takes Sasha by boat to another location. Her hands are tied. During the trip, he tells her that he saw her name and address in the ranger station register. That's how he learned that she loves mountain climbing. He also found out that she had gone to climb Troll Wall with her husband, where she lost him. Ben knows far more about Sasha than he ever should, and that's what makes him even more dangerous. Sasha tells him that what happened was an accident. After that, Ben throws her into the water and drags her through it until they reach a cave. Inside, Sasha discovers the dead bodies of the same family she saw in the recording on the phone. The truth is now impossible to ignore. Ben is a complete psychopath. He kills people and dries their skin before sending it to others. Then he explains that he has never truly captured someone's spirit because, according to the tribe's beliefs, that can only happen after killing a person and eating their liver. His obsession isn't just murder anymore. It's a ritual he believes will finally make him complete. He says that despite killing many people, he has never found a powerful spirit. Because of that, his ritual has never been fulfilled. But now he believes he has finally found one. That powerful spirit, according to Ben, belongs to Sasha. He intends to kill her and complete the ritual at last. To Ben, Sasha isn't just another victim. She's the prize he's been searching for all along. After that, Ben removes his fake teeth and shows Sasha his real ones. They're sharpened like an animal's fangs. He reveals that he filed them down himself. This, too, is one of the tribe's traditions. Everything about Ben has been shaped by the twisted beliefs he chose to embrace. He explains that he first came to this place with his mother. According to him, she became his very first victim. After killing her, he went on to murder many more people. Now, he says, it's Sasha's turn. Ben moves closer to her. Suddenly, Sasha bites his ear, giving herself a chance to escape. She jumps into the water, but Ben immediately follows. He attaches himself to the chain connected to her so she won't be able to get away. Even when she fights back, Ben refuses to let her out of his grasp. But the current is extremely powerful. Both of them are swept away and plunge over a waterfall. During the fall, Ben slams into a rock underwater and loses consciousness. Eventually, both of them wash up on the shore. Sasha tries to kill him with a rock, but just as she's about to strike, Ben regains consciousness. He attacks her again. Even though he could have killed her right then, he doesn't want his game to end that way. For Ben, the hunt matters just as much as the kill itself. Instead, he leaves Sasha alive. That's when she gets an opportunity. She grabs a rock and smashes it into his leg, breaking the bone. After that, both of them remain lying there, completely exhausted. Sasha is barely able to move herself. For the first time, hunter and prey are both pushed to their absolute limits. Night falls, and Sasha begins talking about everything that's been weighing on her heart. She admits that even now, she doesn't know whether Tommy was alive or dead when she let go of the rope. She blames herself for his death. Tommy had wanted to turn back long before everything went wrong, but her determination to climb Troll Wall convinced them to stay. She says that on that day, luck simply wasn't on his side, and that's why he didn't survive. The guilt she's carried for months finally comes pouring out into the open. The two remain there through the night. When morning arrives, Sasha tells Ben that if he wants to get out of there, he'll have to climb the rock face with her. The reason is simple. They're still connected to each other. Sasha can't leave alone. At the same time, Ben has completely given up his weapons, and his injured leg leaves him in no position to fight back effectively. Now, survival depends on the very person each of them wanted to destroy. Ben knows he can't do anything to Sasha right now. If he kills her, he'll end up dying as well, so he agrees to a deal. He tells her that if she gets him to the top, he'll let her leave alive. Sasha clips him into her harness system and begins climbing the rock face. For the moment, both of them are forced to depend on the person they trust the least, but Sasha doesn't believe a word Ben says. Because of that, she quietly starts tampering with the setup near the anchor point. Ben, who is attached to the other end of the rope, notices something is wrong and suddenly pulls her downward. Sasha quickly claims that she was only checking the rope. After that, she continues climbing. Eventually, she reaches a ledge that reminds her of the same point she once faced on Troll Wall. There, she stops and ties the rope holding Ben to a piece of wood. Then, she loosens the harness. The climb has become more than survival now. It has become a final test of judgment. Ben immediately realizes realizes she's trying something. He starts pulling on the rope in an attempt to drag her back down. But because the harness has been loosened, Ben suddenly loses support and falls with the rope. The fall kills him instantly. With that, Ben's deadly game finally comes to an end. After everything she's endured, Sasha finally breaks free from the man who hunted her. But Sasha's life is still in danger. The section of rock where she's stranded makes climbing down completely impossible. Her only option is to keep climbing upward. The cliff is extremely dangerous, and now she doesn't even have a harness. One mistake means certain death. Even though Ben is gone, the mountain itself remains a deadly obstacle. She struggles to get past a particularly dangerous overhang. At one point, she's left hanging with almost no way forward, but by staying calm and using her experience, she manages to work her way through it and reach the top. Afterward, she makes her way to a road where she finds a vehicle. The driver takes her to the ranger station. There, she tells the ranger about Ben's cave and explains that the remains of all the missing people can be found there. She says that every person who disappeared is still inside that cave. The mystery that haunted the wilderness finally has an answer. Later, Sasha walks to the ocean carrying Tommy's compass. Standing by the shoreline, she releases it into the waves and watches it drift away. In that moment, she decides to move forward with her life. She finally understands that what happened to Tommy was an accident. His death was not her fault. That's where the story comes to an end. For the first time since losing Tommy, Sasha is finally able to let go and keep living. Some people survive, but they never leave the nightmare behind. The danger ends, the scars don't. If stories like this stay with you, stay with HOPKART Peru, because some stories end, but the feeling never does.